The following audio was recorded during. The following audio.
Testing 1, 2. Test. Carlos.
Wow, I chose a headset that actually works in both ears today.
Good for you, Carlos. Good for you. Would you like a beer? Here, have a beer.
All right.
Okay, well, I'm going to pass it around this way. Take one down and pass it around.
99 bottles of beer on the wall. Fine.
We almost have. Oh wait, we do. We have enough bottle openers where everyone can have one.
I don't need it.
I don't need your bottle opener.
I got a new eyeball.
What you need a new eyeball for?
Well, his other one was working.
That's a problem. You can't have two working eyeballs.
Can't. It's just not good. Not good, even a little bit.
I don't smell pie. I smell pumpkin and beer. Liars.
What? Did they not spice it? I don't know.
That's what it is.
Right. Well,
Chunky, crusty pumpkin beer.
we got 3 minutes yet.
It smells like probably the pumpkin and pumpkin pie. And beer has grain in it, so there's your pie crust right there.
Rah! You working today, Eric? Cool beans. That's neat. Oh, look at the label. They're so happy.
But the downside is that they have a pumpkin pie there. So
Now you're unmuted, Eric. I think you were muted.
was I muted?
I think so.
I
Yeah,
think so.
That's better.
They have a pumpkin pie sitting in front of them. So they may be smiling, but they're going to be disappointed because pumpkin pie is horrible.
It is kind of the worst pie,
I love pumpkin pie.
Me too.
but it's the worst pie.
Only when it's like less than a week old, because then it's nice and moist and great.
With a shit ton of Cool Whip
What?
on it.
Wait, I like pumpkin bars. I hate pumpkin pie. That's what it is.
Is there really a difference?
Yeah, there is.
What's the difference?
Pumpkin-
Isn't pumpkin bars just pumpkin pie cut in different shapes?
No,
Yeah.
it's like a cake, kind of. That's a pumpkin cake. That's
It's not as loose, I think. It's
like a pie. It's hard to explain. You know how cake is fluffy and great?
Cake is good, yes.
So it's a pumpkin flavored cake.
That sounds terrible.
That's like pumpkin bars.
It sounds horrible.
But pumpkin doesn't really have a flavor. It's the spices in pumpkin, and I'm not a huge fan of nutmeg.
Well, try my grandma's pumpkin bars, and you'll be. I hate pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie is the worst.
It's pretty gross. The texture's disgusting.
It's terrible. Give me pecan or apple or lemon meringue or banana cream.
Key lime.
Nobody likes key lime pie.
Key lime pie is amazing.
Wrong. Somehow.
Well, that's weird.
Is it?
The following audio was recorded during a meeting of the Department of Offense. It is not suitable for children, the easily offended, or anyone with actual taste. You have been warned.
Jane Goodall motorboating a gorilla's floppy milk. Segways everywhere. Schmegma.
Ew! Whoa!
I would make a lot of rectangles. I could never do squares right.
We all had to put pants on this week because you're here.
And now it's time for the Department of Offense.
Welcome to episode 91 of the Department of Offense. I'm your host, Casey. Joining me as always is Carlos.
Right here.
Yeah, and Matt.
Hey!
And Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, everyone was really
It's
excited.
like a fight scene in a fucking martial arts movie.
Right?
The first thing I thought was pro wrestling. I was like, what are we, wrestlers today?
Yeah.
No, it's the camera shooting back and forth.
Oh, I thought
So
we were
cool.
going to try to be really melodramatic.
We were.
Or mellow
I
dramatic.
guess. Yeah, that's what we were doing, Carlos.
Crank that melodrama up to 11.
On our Spinal Tap. Himanaha.
Yeah.
Him and a huh.
Himanaha. So, Carlos, what have you been up to this week?
A bunch of things, but mainly I brought fuck you, Matt. So I read this week I got volume 3 of the Hawkeye comic.
Yeah?
And it was fantastic. The whole series that they have been doing is pretty awesome. Mainly, I was reading about it a little bit, and I thought one of the best explanations of it is I saw online was they called it a indie comic that's just being published by Marvel.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so like the art's fantastic and the story is fun and it's not silly, but like it has kind of some noir elements mixed in there with because he's a badass normal person who has to try to keep up with the Avengers. So it was a fun read for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I suppose like doesn't Black Widow has the same problem. She's a badass normal person who tries to keep up with the Avengers.
She shows up in one of the issues and she had a fun part.
Okay, cool. Matthew?
I was just trying to think of what I did this week. There wasn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
Mostly I remembered that I was quite hungover on last Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I was not.
I woke up with my suit on and my feet ached so bad because my shoes were still on and I had my suspender. Oh, I was in pain. Yeah, let's say that was a long Saturday night.
I did not make it out to the bars because of that reason.
Yeah, there was many shots going around.
Yeah,
it was
I
fun.
feel like I made the right decision because I had to go to my mom's birthday the next day.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we went there and we stayed till bar close, and then all of a sudden we went to a friend's house, and all of a sudden it was 3:30 in the morning. I passed out on a couch in my suit.
Eric?
I haven't really done anything of note this week, so
Well,
pretty boring.
You hung out at Emma's with me.
I did. We got.
You were
I
there
got
till bar
nice-
close.
I got nice and drunk. You're right.
He asked for last call. He got a Guinness, and he's like, "I can chug that." He's like, he chugged it.
That was fun.
good stuff. So I guess the biggest thing of note is the wedding that we all went to, where I did the walrus across the floor. That was
I just forgot about that. Oh wow.
Right where Casey had earlier knocked a glass on the ground.
Yeah,
so-
Spencer's glass.
it was unintentional, as was the throwing of the cigar at the little kid.
And they just got done sweeping it up, and I think Jen like ran across the dance floor in her socks or whatever, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, don't!" I guess it was fine though, and then you did a walrus, I guess.
I tried to do the worm, but I do not have the bendability, the flexibility. That's the word I'm
So
looking for.
it ended up being a walrus.
It ended up being the walrus.
That's funny.
But you threw a cigar at a little kid.
That was completely unintentional. So
What?
I was done with my cigar, and so I was just kind of chucking it off into the distance, like I'm wont to do. And a little kid had just like run across the arc where I was throwing the cigar and then almost hit her. And then everyone's like, "Why did you throw that at her?" I'm like,
Oh my god, that's great.
Smoke up, little kid.
I didn't mean to.
Started her dress on fire. Jeez.
I felt terrible, but there weren't supposed to be any little kids there, so
Oh yeah, that's right.
I immediately didn't feel bad.
Yeah, that's what I would have brought up.
I went
I
there.
did, but
This
they're
is
like,
adult potty.
I went to drop off Jen's garter, and I was hoping to pawn my suit off at somebody to take to the suit store, but I had to take it myself the next
"Oh,
day.
to Woodbury."
But there was one guy in there. He's like, "Oh, you had a lot of fun last night, didn't you?" Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so. I think I did." And everybody else is perfectly cool. Like, but he's like, "Oh, you
there.
Yeah.
You had all
like
the
I
fun.
didn't think I made that much of an ass out of myself. I think we were all pretty equally shitty.
Yeah, no,
So-
it was a great time. The only person who was kind of irritated was Felicia, Rick's wife, who was our sober cab,
Why is that?
because we
Because
were
she
all
was
drunk
sober?
and she was
Nice.
sober. But no, it was a great time.
My parents, a deer ran into their car on the way home.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's not good.
A deer
But,
ran into their car. Did
Yeah,
the car
literally,
run
it was
into
the side
deer?
of the car into the car.
That
Oh
sucks.
man, did they make it home?
They made it home. Yes.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, no, it was a good week. What else happened this week? I'm trying to think. I don't know.
There wasn't that much. I
Constantine
just
aired.
worked a lot.
Constantine
Yes,
aired.
good
yeah,
show.
and I
Good
watched
show.
I watched that Sunday, but it aired Friday. Don't worry about that. It was very good, very good. Something else.
The Walking
Yeah.
Dead's amazing.
The Walking Dead has been.
Did you watch the last episode?
Yes.
Holy hell!
Right. No spoilers.
Nope.
'Cause we should just do an entire show on all the TV that we watch.
Yeah, we should
because we watch a stupid amount of TV.
all I know is I wasn't hungry after that episode.
I binged watched the 100. It's
don't know
a
what that
CW show. It's about there was a nuclear holocaust, and then there were 12 or 13 space stations, and they all joined together to make one called the Ark. And this is 100 years later, and they're trying to re-inhabit the Earth. So they send down 100 juvenile delinquents. I think CW is becoming a better sci-fi channel than sci-fi.
Well, sci-fi is just dumb now. They don't even play actual movies anymore. They play stupid low-budget B movies that should never be made.
Yeah, but that's what we love about they need to do more of that, because that was awesome when they used to do that. Just
Well, no, they
but-
used to actually play like sci-fi movies and have good series on there and stuff. Now it's just-
And they changed.
Shark
They started
Noise.
changing what they were doing. Started playing more wrestling, because that's what you think when you think
yeah,
of sci-fi.
oh yeah, sci-fi.
channel.
Well, it's not sci-fi; it's SY/FY now instead of sci-fi.
Did you have you started the American Horror Story this season?
No,
Dude, Freak Show's great.
I have not
It's
watched Freak
fucked up.
Show.
Twisty the
I still
Clown
haven't
is one of the
seen-
scariest things
Dude,
I've ever seen.
how
I still haven't
creepy
seen
is
last
that?
episode
The,
or last
uh,
season.
Twisty the Clown, he is the guy who plays him he was Drew Carey's transvestite brother in
Okay.
the Drew Carey show, and he was in Fargo. So he's like a 6'7" man.
Yeah,
Like he's a big man.
huge.
And he has like this weird mask on, and then he's got like a chopped off head of a clown on top of him, like as the scalp of it. He's just terrifying. And
That's
in the
awesome.
last episodes, we saw like the jaw part come off, and he has no jaw underneath his little happy face.
Yeah, dude,
I don't know
it's-
what's going on.
it's-
Oh wow.
It's freaking scary. And then the dude with the little demon head on the back, like the did you watch that one? I think it was this week's.
I didn't see this
Oh,
week's yet.
dude! Oh my gosh, that guy is so he's so creepy. Oh, it's just. So
I was
scary.
sad when the little twerp or whatever.
Meep.
Oh yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, he died.
Poor Meep.
Hmm.
Yes, you should. It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird.
Yeah. All right. Well, I really
Compared
want
to the other seasons, this is the weirdest.
Okay.
by far.
All right. I will definitely have to check that out. A few announcements before we move further on into the
Okay.
show, because we're doing announcements at the top and at the end of the show, so everyone hears them. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that people just turn it off when the music starts.
Right.
Make sure you guys can, if you don't know this, you can listen live every Saturday at blindnewstudios.com/live or on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/blindnewstudios. If you have questions, comments, show ideas, go ahead and send those to feedback@blindnewstudios.com or send us those on Facebook. And we're gearing up for our second anniversary show, which is next Saturday, November 1st. And we need your help. If you have any favorite show moments, send those to the ninja at blindninjastudios.com. Also, that is going to be at 2 p.m. We're going to have everything set up so you can call in and whatnot. It's going to be a great time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And Homebrew Bound is now live every Monday at 8 p.m. CST. This week we're going to try my blonde, which did not turn out the greatest. There's something very specific wrong with it, and I'm going to see if Miles can pull it out. That'll be fun. All right, those are kind of the top of the show announcements. So let's get right into this beer. Going around the table, or I guess it's already gone around the table, is New Glarus's Pumpkin Pie Lust. It has a 86 on Beer Advocate, and New Glarus always has these like super long descriptions. I'll just kind of go through this one real quick. It is a fact that Dan, our New Glarus brewmaster, loves pumpkin pie, which because he's a horrible person. So it was inevitable that one day beer and pie would collide. No holiday is complete at our home without home-baked pumpkin pie. Just as Dan once baked this pie for Deb, he now creates this brew for you. First, Wisconsin-grown wheat simmers with German Munich malt. Then he thoroughly stirs in Idaho-grown Celia hops. Fresh Bavarian Weizen yeast is then labeled into the open-top fermenters, and a final bottle conditioning makes this beer 100% naturally carbonated. This rich brown Weiss beer pours an elegant spicy nose with thick creamy head. This pumpkin Weiss is sure to satisfy your soul's pie lust. There's nothing in here about pie spices. I don't know if there's actually any pumpkin in this beer.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
doesn't
I
say
never.
I
had-
smell a little bit, but like not a whole lot.
I've never had my soul be lustful for pie, so I mean, I'm not.
Oh, I have.
Well, a pumpkin pie.
I feel like this is just a dark wheat or like a darker wheat beer that's fermented. Funny, I don't know.
The aftertaste tastes like pie, but otherwise, no.
All right, yeah, I guess give us your overview.
That's basically my overview. I hate pumpkin beers to begin with, and this doesn't even taste like pumpkin.
No,
so-
this tastes like a wheat beer. Carlos.
Yeah, it really doesn't have that pumpkin taste. So,
yeah. When
I
you,
don't know.
what's like
Well,
the leader in pumpkin beers right
I don't
now?
know. Well, it says it's a fruit vegetable beer, so there has to be pumpkin in here
All right.
somewhere. But I'm not.
Like,
I'm
I
not
think
really
I
picking it up.
smell. I might smell a little bit of pumpkin in there,
Mhm.
but I don't really taste it. But then again, I just brush my teeth, so who knows?
Well, that was a terrible idea.
Yeah, how horrible of me to brush my teeth.
Yeah, why would
I
you
didn't
do
brush
that?
my teeth.
I brushed mine.
I
this
knew I was
morning
gonna
when
take.
I woke up.
Well, I woke up like not that long ago, so I just came over.
Makes sense. All right, Eric.
Yeah, it's definitely lacking. Like, I would have thought, you'd be able to taste like the coriander, nutmeg, and allspice and all that, but I don't get any of that. It does taste like a darker wheat beer. It's okay.
Yeah, I guess there has to be some sort of pumpkin in here because I mean there's some sort of vegetal character coming through, but it's very very light. Like
Well-
I think this is the pumpkin beer for the non-pumpkin beer drinkers.
I was just gonna say that I hate pumpkin beer, so I guess I'd like this
Yeah.
one then, huh?
What's the best pumpkin beer that you guys have had? Is there one?
I'm sure there is.
There's one with like a jack-o'-lantern on the front of it. That one I tried, and that one.
Oh God,
that one's
that's
like everywhere.
Southern tier.
is that Southern
know for
Tier's
sure.
like
So.
Jolly Pumpkin or
Something like that.
they're I don't know.
There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
now. Like when it was first being like pumpkin first started becoming a beer type thing, there was only like 2 or 3 that you could find.
Divine has 10 or 15.
now,
of them right
yeah,
now.
like now it's
It seemed
become
to
a
have
big thing.
exploded from last year.
Well, it's because this time of year we get pumpkin flavored everything for white people.
Yeah.
Well, then also in the summertime we get everything mixed with juices, like the summer shandies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, those are disgusting.
If they're done right, they're not bad.
I don't know. I just
But-
don't like summer shanties.
You don't like liney summer shanty.
No.
But
Are there non-liney summer shanties?
yes.
Yeah, you just put lemonade in a beer.
Yeah. All right, Eric, best pumpkin beer you've had.
Left Hand makes a really, really, really good one. It actually tastes like pumpkin.
Yeah.
And the spices that you consider pumpkin pie flavor, it's
Mhm.
it's really, really good. Very creamy is what I liked about it. It had just real heavy mouthfeel. It was good.
And because I'm kind of a dick, I'm going to go with Pitchforks. They don't overspice it because when I have pumpkin beer, the biggest problem with it is just way too many spices. Way too many, and it's subtle enough where it's not slapping you in the face, but you can still taste it.
Mm.
Yeah.
And the base beer itself is pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty fantastic.
It was quite delightful.
Yeah.
This guy says his favorite is Trogus Master of Pumpkins.
Trogs?
Troegs.
Who is
Trogs.
that?
This guy online. I just searched pumpkin beers.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well then, I think that brings us to
And now the Department of Offense presents news with Casey.
Yay News. And we're gonna fade this out before it stops abruptly.
You
I
can't
thought
announce that stuff.
I
man.
really thought that used to go longer.
Yeah, it used to go over the whole thing.
It used to go over the whole thing. And then, well, no,
Casey didn't like it, okay?
no. So it used to go over the what was it? The local news segment,
Yeah.
and I ditched that. I'm thinking about bringing that back as a once a month thing because I had a few people clamoring for it.
Let us know online if you'd like local news to come back.
Yes,
I would not.
You're
can just-
not.
If
important,
something
Carlos.
actually interesting happens, you can just throw it in there.
No, we do once a month because people like to hear about other people peeing on cop cars.
I do.
That's what they like to hear, and give the people what they want
you just
is
throw it
rule
in
number
there.
1 of show business.
You don't have to have a whole segment for it.
Yeah. Segment. We're gonna bring back the local news.
Well, I think that's stupid.
Dude, it's only like 5 tidbits. It's fine. And
So-
it takes like 2 minutes.
It sounds horrible.
I know, Carlos, but a lot of things sound horrible.
Trees.
Like this: 24-year-old Riley Swearingen, on leave from the Air Force in Minneapolis last weekend, or was on leave from the Air Force last week in Minneapolis last weekend, and he proceeded to get quite intoxicated, which isn't a terrible plan. Right? No, that seems like a good plan. Unfortunately, Riley was destined to make a terrible decision, and that was to give a police officer a wet willy. Police Sergeant Adam Gray was talking with a driver of a party bus when he felt 2 wet fingers being pushed into his ears. The officer turned around and saw friends. I just gave the cop a wet willy. Riley was then arrested and charged with assaulting an officer with bodily fluids.
Oh, I wonder how much that was.
That is a felony.
Jesus.
You cannot give cops wet willies. You're just not
Get a
allowed.
felony for giving a cop a wet willy. Wow.
He did not have a sense of humor at all.
No.
Then again,
Think
I
how
probably wouldn't
gross
either.
wet. Where a cop
Didn't
had
Gus
the power to
Spencer give us
arrest
a felony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
probably.
it's actually kind of interesting how cops are one of the few people on the earth that have a justification to get back at you if you give them a wet willy.
Right. Those lucky bastards.
They can retaliate much harder.
92-year-old Eva Lenfest from Maine illustrated why old people shouldn't drive on Thursday when she mistook a boat launch ramp for a road and drove straight into Belfast Harbor. Just drove right into the harbor. Eva was pulled from the rapidly sinking car by 2 men working in the harbor. Bryden Burleson and Howard Whitcomb. Their names are important because good job, guys. You
Yeah.
saved this almost dead lady.
Congratulations.
They drove out to the car in a rubber dinghy. That sentence is there because I wanted to say the word dinghy.
Dingy.
I can't, how do you just, I can't see. Just looks like the road. Oh, there must be a puddle.
Maybe it's one of them mirages that makes it look so wet.
I was looking at the pictures and she made it pretty far.
Must have been hauling ass or something.
Her car was there was enough water where her entire car was
That is a
underwater.
cry for help.
She was probably trying to kill herself, and these bastards saved her, and she's like, why are you doing that, sonny?
Yeah, there's no mistaking a boat launch when there's a humongous lake or something in front of you.
No, this would be the ocean.
There's the ocean in front of you. Yeah, that's a cry for help.
You know, I would like to think that as they went in there to try to save her, she rolled her window down and, can I help you, officer?
She's digging for a license and registration while they're in a boat.
Yeah.
Would you boys like some Werthers while we wait?
Oh, I'll get that just right now. Here's a picture of my grandson while we wait. Because that's what old people
That's
do,
what
right?
they do, yes.
It sure is raining today.
The U of M has been added again. They may have just developed the next big apple. The current king of consumed apples is the Honeycrisp. We've all had Honeycrisp apples,
They're
right?
delicious.
Sure, I have. I don't know. Maybe I have.
Which was developed by the 50s and released to the public in 1991. That's a long.
For an apple, that's a long
Yeah.
time. Oh, guess
I
they had to
didn't
wait for
realize the
trees to grow.
Honeycrisp was only released in 91. I didn't
Yeah,
realize
right.
it was such a new apple.
They had to make sure the mutant didn't try to attack people.
Right. Ever since then, it's been the top-selling apple in the U.S. But the team may have created an even better apple. They started mating the Honeycrisp with the Monarch apple 17 years ago, and they think they have finally perfected the match with the apple currently coded MN55. MN55 tastes very similar to a Honeycrisp, but it's ripe on the tree a full month before other apples. So its peak is in August instead of September.
Huh.
So apple season now can run a ridiculously long time.
Pretty much all year.
Well, starting in August
Yeah.
for, until the snow flies.
What color are the Honeycrisp apples?
Apple colored?
Well, there's the green apples and the red apples. That's what I'm
No,
asking.
there's
Is it purple?
It's probably not
I
purple.
don't think it's purple. I don't know. They didn't have a picture of the
Well, you
of the
know, I
apple.
mean, just a regular Honeycrisp.
Oh.
apple as black
I think they're red.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%
they're red.
People like the
Well,
red
they're-
apples. Those are disgusting.
I like red apples.
I like
No.
all apples.
My favorite apple is the Fuji apple.
You like Fuji's?
Because they're nice and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I like a sweet apple.
No, the green ones are where it's at.
You're wrong.
Granny Smith's.
Yeah.
No,
they
the
have
Fuji
the sour.
apples. I don't like the sour apples.
Well, there's something wrong with you.
No, there's not, Carlos. There's something wrong with you.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
That makes perfect sense. I don't hate trees. You
Granny
can't eat
Smith.
apples. They come from trees.
Why not?
Well, that's why he likes them, so he can eat the little and just stick it to him. He probably stands in front of a tree with like a Mount Washington in his hand. It's like,
I'm eating their children.
You monster.
reproduce now as he spits the seeds at them.
All right. The next step is the naming process, which they say can take up to like 3 years.
Oh, yeah,
to
I'm
name
sure.
this stupid apple. But I think they should stick with code name MN55, the apple of secret agents.
No.
Yeah, it sounds.
I think
very
it just
stealthy.
be
That sounds-
MN55.
No, it's code name MN55.
No. They can't call an apple that.
But they number and take away his name.
It had no name in the first place to take away.
Yeah, but it's the slogan of the apple, Carlos.
That's a horrible slogan.
I think it's a great slogan.
should not
The
be in charge-
commercial writes itself.
You should not be in charge of slogans.
It's Daniel Craig eating an apple.
Instead of, like that one part at the beginning of James Bond where the eyelet comes down, like instead of him turning around and shooting, he turns around and takes a bite of an apple.
And
Oh,
And then code name
Yeah.
MN55.
no, you have to have Daniel Craig say something like an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Keeps Dr.
There you
Noah
see.
away. An apple a day keeps Dr. Noah away.
But that's not his villain.
Well, it could be. Who
Whatever.
knows?
It doesn't matter.
He fights
An apple
Quantum.
a day keeps M away.
No, we want M. M
No,
gives him assignments. I'm so
Yeah, but-
excited for the next Bond movie,
M's
guys.
dead, though, isn't she?
No, there's M is a code name.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess.
yeah,
that's
there's
true,
a
right?
new M.
There's a new M,
There's gonna be a new M.
and he's back in the original M's office with like the quilted door. Going into the office to get his gadgets and his assignment from the office. It's going to be so
I
awesome.
can't wait.
I know.
See, it all comes together except for Quantum Solace. Fuck that movie.
That movie was terrible. I've heard it's a lot better if you watch if you watch it right after Casino Royale,
Oh, yeah.
because it's essentially just a 2-part story then, because it
Yeah,
wasn't really
totally
meant
makes
to be a standalone movie. Though Skyfall was pretty good because it had a lot.
Sci-fi ruled.
Yeah,
I like
it
that.
had a lot of nods towards the older Bond movies,
And it was completely different than a usual Bond movie, I thought, too.
it felt like a Bond movie.
Well,
you
like,
find out that James Bond is actually Batman.
it felt,
James Bond is not Batman.
He has a butler and a mansion. He's fucking Batman.
He doesn't have a butler. He's a groundskeeper.
I thought the cinematography and everything that
Oh, it was
It was-
beautiful. It was a gorgeous
it was
film.
an art of like cinema. That's why
Yeah.
I felt it was completely different than a normal Bond
A
movie.
lot of Bond movies have had fantastic
Yeah.
cinema for the time. Like if you go back and watch them like as a period pieces, they're phenomenal.
I like to go back and watch them as James Bond.
Plus,
movies because of the
plus
shit.
you can always see what was really popular at the time, like technology and music, because they draw from the
Oh, yeah.
pop culture of the time
yeah.
to do their scores, and like, oh, this is like jetpacks are popular now. Let's put our jetpack in here. Oh, Harrier jets just came out. There's a Harrier jet now.
laser wristwatches. We're
That
gonna
sounds
do it.
cool. Or like
Invisible cars? Why the fuck not?
See, that was a holdover almost from the 90s when things like the late 90s when things were getting over the top and insane. Late 90s, early 2000s.
That was their fault for trying to top themselves each time.
Yeah.
They didn't make another James Bond movie with what's his name?
Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah, because they just didn't know what they could do. Like, what else could they have the car do?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have it fly in space by itself.
And his contract ran out. There is that too.
Nah.
But
If they wanted to, they would have just brought him back.
I don't know. I kind of like the more serious side that Daniel Craig has for like
Yeah.
Bond
I
movies.
don't know. I like he's missing some of the
He's got a lack of panache.
well, he
But-
can't pull off the one-liners. Like in Skyfall there were a few one-liners and he just can't quite do it. Like Brosnan was king, like he was great at the one-liners. He wasn't
right.
because Moore was fantastic with like the slapstick madness.
No, I think he though pulls them off similar to Sean Connery though.
Yeah, he's
So-
very similar to Sean Connery in that way, but he doesn't have the what's the word, the sexism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. He's not. Not as womanizing. Like it doesn't seem like he wants to do that side of James Bond. You know.
Yeah,
Like, oh yeah, let me bang like 3 girls in the movie. You know, I don't think he wants to do that kind of stuff. I think he wants to be more of like an action.
he's more like
Action
Moore
star.
that way,
Yeah.
where he's nice to women.
Yeah.
Although they do go through at
See
least
some
one
asexual
Bond girl a movie.
Well,
you
yeah,
have
you have
to.
to.
No,
That's
because the
a
first Bond
movie.
movie or the first Bond girl needs to die because that's just how it works. The first Bond girl dies. And then the second Bond girl is fine. All right, I take that back. She either dies or becomes a villain and then dies at the end.
I like who they chose to be Moneypenny. She's
Yeah.
in 28 Days Later too.
Yeah, it's interesting that Moneypenny used to be a field agent in the new rebooted Bond franchise. Man, I could talk about Bond for another hour. Should probably move on, huh?
Probably. We'll get stuck.
Speaking of James Bond, South Korea irritated North Korea because there was that one Bond movie. Never mind.
Some Bond in there.
Yeah. So when South Korean activists launched thousands of anti-Kim balloons carrying over 2,000 leaflets at North Korea. That's right, balloons.
That's awesome.
Pyongyang had threatened unspecified if the launch were to be allowed. So South Korea basically blew a raspberry at them and was like, "Oh, no, here, have some balloons anyway. Just take them. Just take them." Not all South Koreans were behind the launch, though. Kwon Soon Wong, age 63, said things like this will trigger artillery firing at us. Kwong also runs a snack bar at the in northern South Korea.
He knows so much about North Korean politics, and he runs a snack bar.
It's a snack bar.
Snack bars are very popular in Asia.
Choi Woo Won, one of the activists, countered with, "By the time our leaflets cover all of North Korea, murderer Kim Jong-un will perish and be destroyed." I don't know how that's going to work.
We have two people on very opposite sides of this.
One is retaliation. One thinks he's going to die from a paper cut.
Thousands and thousands of paper cuts.
Right? He's just going to be buried by leaflets.
We have the world's
Oh, no!
sharpest paper.
Granted, it would only take like 2 reams of paper to bury him because he's so short.
Yeah, he's tiny.
He's a tiny little man.
I can't wait to see that new Seth Rogen and James
I
Franco
know.
movie.
It's going to be fantastic, except we're all going to get nuked because of it.
Yeah.
But it's going to
That
be
was
totally
like,
worth it.
what,
Not all
3
of us.
months
They
ago
can't-
almost
They can't
that
do
was
all of
announced?
us. That would take.
No, that was like 6 months ago now.
No, I was in town when they announced it
Oh.
and the retaliation from North.
Really?
Or was I in Japan?
No,
I think
would've
you
been
were
in
in Japan.
Japan.
Yes, I was. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, because they totally, like, Kim Jong-un totally blew the load on that one. He would have had so much more press if he would have waited till the film came out.
Well, now it's coming out, so
It's true. But if he does it again, it's like, we've already heard this. You haven't
right.
done anything, you angry little man. Go play with your friend Dennis Rodman.
Go feed your country, asshole.
Move over Felix Baumgartner. Your record has been beat by a 57-year-old Google executive named Alan Eustace. Eustace?
Eustace?
I don't know, Eustace. On Friday. Felix made it to 127,852 feet, but Alan hit a cool 135,000 on Friday, smashing the record for highest free fall. Though Alex still holds the fastest free fall record at 843.6 miles per hour, Alan just barely broke 822, which is still fast enough to break the sound barrier and cause a sonic boom, which is pretty badass for a 57-year-old.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
why wasn't that like pressed like Felix's because he didn't have Red Bull behind him or something?
Yeah, because he financed it all himself.
Oh, okay.
He just threw money at it and was like, "Here, I want to jump from this high. Make
Oh,
this
yeah.
happen." And it took him 2 hours to float up that high in a weather balloon, which is kind of entertaining.
Yeah, that would kind of suck. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to take 2 hours of my life to float way up
Oh,
in the air,
and-
and then I'm
and-
just going to jump out.
And because of like cooling and heating issues with the suit, he couldn't move for those 2 hours.
What?
Yeah.
Well, could he like maybe move his thumb?
No, he like in order to like conserve like the heat and everything. Even when like they were radio talking to him, he couldn't talk back, and he couldn't move to like thumb the mic or anything. So he just had to like wiggle his leg a little bit to acknowledge.
That sucks. How are
That's
you supposed to take the
I
world's
thought like
highest
maybe
selfie?
he'd like be using his droid on the way up there just to
Right.
play video games.
It should have just
Or something.
been like voice activated. You could just talk at them. But yeah, then it took him 15 minutes to fall,
It's
which is insane. And then like sonic boom.
Yeah, when you think of just normal sky fall or whatever, skydiving.
Skyfall.
When you think of skydiving, it only takes like a minute or two. And that took 15
4
minutes.
minutes.
4
from
minutes?
where you usually jump out of.
Holy hell! And that took 15.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's crazy.
So it's
What's the usual skydiving height? Does anybody
30,000
know?
feet.
Is it 30,000
Uh-huh.
feet?
And he's 100 times further than that.
No, he's
Or
100,000
130.
more.
Yeah, 100,000. That's what I meant.
Not 100 times. That'd be really high.
Yeah.
That'd be outside of the atmosphere. He'd be floating. He'd be like, "Oh shit, not falling."
I don't know if it would actually, like 100 times more than, like the atmosphere goes like like what qualifies the atmosphere goes like ridiculously far.
That's true. But I still like the
Like, it's not-
idea
it
that
doesn't-
he's just floating there. He's like, "Fuck."
Ground control to Major Tom.
Yeah, that would suck. That would suck bad.
I'm floating here in the most peculiar way.
Mom, come and get me. Mom.
Man, he's like waving at the ISS. Help!
And they're like, "Oh, look at this asshole."
Except they wouldn't see him.
Well, they could still laugh at him.
This is true. All right. And finally, guys, this is the best news I have heard all week. The TLC show, Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, has been fucking canceled.
No.
This is so great.
I'm surprised
fantastic.
that this is second year or something.
No.
No, it's been on for quite a few.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
I'm surprised that it's been around that long.
It was on long enough for South Park to have an episode about it 2 or 3 years ago.
Yep.
Wow.
That was a pretty funny episode.
It was.
I like when they
the
started
battle of the
wrestling.
little carts.
Yeah.
So it was canceled because of accusations that Honey Boo Boo's mom, June Shannon, was dating a sex offender / child molester. Shannon denies these accusations, but TLC couldn't take the chance and bailed on the show.
Good.
Which makes sense.
Did they even said that they like caught her like on camera sneaking away from the set of the show to go and meet this guy? And
Well,
this-
she didn't seem like a very bright human
no,
being,
oh, fuck no.
and just kind of nasty.
Yeah, well, very nasty.
Just very nasty. All right.
Of course, that whole subject matter, the whole the pageantry thing, that whole thing's pretty nasty.
Yes.
It looks
Yeah.
like.
You know what else is nasty? TLC in general.
Yep.
TLC needs some actual programming.
You know, once upon a time, didn't they have Junkyard Wars?
Yeah, no, they used to have good reality shows, and now which I mean, I know oxymoron, but now it's just let's find the most fucked up families and follow them with cameras.
Mhm. Or let's make fun of the South as much as we can. Let's let all the Yankees laugh at the stupid people we can find in the South.
But I like that part. That entertains me
That is kind of funny.
because there's a lot of silly people, and that accent, man. You can't argue with the accent. It doesn't sound the smartest. Even
Definitely right. It's not very smart there, fellow.
But yeah, Junkyard Wars, that was a good piece.
Was
of
that the
television.
one when they built the robots out of scrap?
They
and
would
then
build
fought them?
whatever the hell they would build. All yes, they'd be set to have 2 teams in a scrapyard. And they'd
Oh
have to
yeah,
put-
yeah, okay.
they have
yeah,
to build
yeah,
the
yeah.
coolest thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
well, like all right, you're gonna make a boat today. And they make a boat.
Out of junk, and it was grand.
I think it's on Netflix now. I think I said Junkyard Wars on Netflix. They had a big rash of reality shows come to Netflix recently, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool, guys. It's pretty cute.
I can't wait till I can watch Honey Boo Boo on Netflix.
I do not want to watch Honey Boo Boo on Netflix. Why
Honey
do you want to
Boo
watch
Boo.
Honey Boo Boo?
I was being pretentious and assholey. I don't want to watch Honey Boo Boo.
I don't see how that's pretentious at all.
I would rather.
That's like saying the Kardashians are
No,
pretentious.
it seems more like it would just be a poor decision. I mean, that's really what it seems like.
I would rather stick a fork in my eye and then consume my own eyeballs than watch Honey Boo Boo.
Ew.
I would.
It sounds gross. Unless I guess maybe if you make a jelly and then spread it on some toast.
Well, if you just
Little
pop
piece of
your eye,
cheese.
you can have the ocular jelly.
You know,
just
I
sucked
think
out.
I like my eyeballs. I don't think I'd go that far. I don't think I'd take my eyeballs out and eat them to avoid.
Well,
watching
shit,
it.
we went too far. If Carlos says we went too far.
Yeah.
Well, then we're gonna force him to watch all of Honey Boo Boo.
No. All right. So that kind of brings us into our discussion because we're talking about TV, and I really want to talk about the traditional sitcom. You know, like Home Improvement, going back farther.
Everybody
you
loves
got
Raymond.
Everybody loves Raymond. Well, that wasn't really.
I
Going
wasn't.
Back farther,
I
but-
just said that, and you said you guys were going back.
Yeah,
further,
yeah.
so
No,
it was
and,
bad
yeah,
timing.
like even going way back to Leave It to Beaver, and
All in the Family.
All in the Family Ties, Brady Bunch, like the traditional sitcom.
Step by step,
Day by day. We got to stop there because we don't own the rights. All right, so that genre is pretty much dead. Even like the cultural sitcoms like Friends, How I Met Your Mother, stuff like that. since How I Met Your Mother ended last year, I don't think there's another one on TV.
Well, are you just talking about a good one? Because
No,
there's
not
a shit
even-
ton of
Yeah.
sitcoms.
I guess one that everyone watches.
Does
Oh.
Tim Allen still have his going on? His,
Last Man Standing.
yeah.
Yes, it is.
I've heard
Is
that.
it still going on?
I've heard that was a pretty fun
It's
show,
not
too.
bad, but I don't know if the sitcom has been replaced by the hour-long drama
Uh-huh.
or cop show
Cop drama.
Yeah. So I want to bring back the golden sitcom. So let's design one. First, we need a hook for our sitcom.
Dramedy isn't the same as a comedy, right? Or a sitcom, right?
No, a dramedy is not. So a lot of those early sitcoms were moron, dad, hot wife, kids, do something.
Right.
So Home Improvement was moron dad has cable show, can't do anything right there either, and has wife who does all things. So what is the hook for our sitcom?
No, that's not entirely true. What about Married with Children?
Married with Children was
The wife could not do everything
yes.
at all.
And that was asshole dad, hot wife.
Nobody could do anything in that show. There was
That
the
show
worst
was
family
kind of
ever.
that was kind of
It
a
was an
play
anti,
on the traditional sitcom, kind of like Seinfeld was.
Oh yeah, they were subverting it, but still,
Yeah.
it's still a sitcom.
It doesn't help us find our hook, Carlos. What is our hook for our sitcom? We're gonna pitch this to, I guess, ABC. Or
Thinking
Fox.
about like Modern Family too. That's basically how that whole show is set up as well, with each one of the families.
Yeah, they're each like their own little sitcom that interacts
Yep.
with each other.
Right,
And
well-
each one has the
Okay.
kind of dumb.
So you're not going to have. You can't. Let's not do a parents and like and their kids. Let's not do a traditional one of those.
How about four handsome gentlemen run a podcast studio and then suddenly
Rejected.
find themselves in
It's
charge
It's
of an
rejected.
orphanage.
Nobody will watch it.
Ooh, wait, in charge of an orphanage.
Yeah. Like somehow we
Oh,
get
man.
ourselves an orphanage, or like I
Well,
don't know,
I'm sorry. If you're
say-
trying to base this on us,
say-
it'd probably be burned down by the end of the week. So that'd be an
I'd
episode.
be the only one that's caring about the children here. Come on, you guys! Jeez!
Why is it on fire?
I'm going. I like the orphanage bit.
Carl.
right?
I'm going to reject the podcast bit. It's not mainstream enough.
Not mainstream enough.
Not mainstream enough.
So we need to have a likable everyman as the main character, obviously.
Yes. Well, do we want to go with the likable everyman? Do we want to go with the buffoon, or do we want to?
Well, he's gonna do some buffoonish
Well,
things.
we could
but
have
you,
all-
You don't have to have that be a huge aspect of his personality. That can just you can easily have like have like one of his friends be the
you
huge
can have
buffoon.
you can have like
It's a
I like-
sitcom, so
I-
he's gonna make some poor decisions anyway.
I like that idea because if you have the buffoonish main character, I feel like gets old quickly.
yeah.
But a buffoonish side character can come in and take over your show, like Urkel
Or Barney Fife.
or Barney Fife, or well, really any show that had a buffoonish side character.
Or Barney.
Yeah, Barney Stinson.
Yeah.
All right. So we have part of our hook. Something orphanage.
So I think that he's going to be a no. I don't know his job. That you can't have a job like this day and age. You don't.
That's
end up
true.
with
Where are
orphanages.
orphanages? I don't think
It's-
they
it
exist
doesn't-
anymore.
Like
They do.
maybe if it was
Pretty
said,
sure we just eat children now.
like you could probably justify it if you had said it in the past, because even though it would make sense still.
They become foster parents.
Well, maybe, but
I
I think
feel like-
let's start with what is his job. I think he should be a sushi chef, but he's really white.
No. How about instead of him being a sushi chef, his buffoon best friend character is the sushi chef, also a black guy.
Nope, his friend cannot hold down a single job. He has like a different job every episode.
So he's kind of like Taco,
I like him being a sushi chef, the sidekick.
the sidekick of sushi
And he
chef.
should be a black guy because a black sushi chef, you'd walk in there and be like,
And it'd be played by Craig Robinson.
That's true. We've seen a lot of white sushi chefs
Right.
in things. I've never seen a black sushi chef.
right.
Craig Robinson.
I don't know who that is.
I feel like we should just resurrect Bernie Mac.
I don't know how to make no sashimi.
Craig Robinson.
Okay.
Or maybe throughout the whole episode, we never talk about what the main character's job is. Through any episode, like he has a job, probably, but we never talk about it. We never see him going to work.
Kind of like Chandler Bing.
And Barney, like nobody knows what his official job.
Yeah, but we
title is.
see him at
Yeah,
work.
that's true.
We never really see Chandler being at work because he's always at the coffee shop.
Right.
No, I don't actually. With the main character, we might not be able to do that, just because.
Well,
because you can get a lot of
What if
play
he-
with
with
work
a good job.
situations.
Okay. How about he's a trust fund kid, but the stipulation to have his trust fund is he now has to run the orphanage.
No, I think we're away from the orphanage idea. It was a great start, a good launching pad.
I think the best
I
was
think
in
We need
Bored.
something more
The
relatable.
best was in Bored to Death when Jason Schwartzman played a private eye and Ted Danson was like a magazine exec. We never knew what Zach Galifianakis did.
I really
Yeah.
need to get around to watching that.
It's really funny.
What is
It's fantastic.
Bored
Bored
to
to Death.
I
It's
only
an
saw the first
HBO
episode.
show, right? HBO.
Yeah, it's
I
all
think it's
done
on
with
Amazon
now.
Prime.
Yeah, it's all on Amazon Prime.
Hmm.
Okay, so we still need to make. So we need something that resonates with Middle America because that's going to be our target demo, but not something. It needs to be a white collar job that resonates with Middle America. We can make him. Let's see. What are the common jobs that characters are? We can make him a doctor.
No, that's way overdone.
Yeah.
There's like 1,000 doctor shows.
This isn't a doctor show though.
You can't.
Okay.
It's not gonna work.
What about if we make him? We could pull a Home Improvement and make him a local cable host
No.
of a show or a producer.
He works at AT&T or somewhere like that.
Nobody wants to hear about what producers.
What if he's
do.
a radio host?
Okay.
No.
Frasier.
Also already done.
It-
Multiple
Who
times.
cares if it's been done?
But if it's been done multiple times, then you're just gonna start falling into the trap. You gotta do something a little bit different.
Okay. What if he owns a mom and pop shop? Like
He owns a
what-
sex store.
a
Two
hardware
guys-
store.
Like two guys
Dude,
who go in a
sex shop.
totally
place.
owns a pornography store.
I
Can't
think-
sell that
Why?
because Middle America is not going to tune into that show.
Sure they will.
No, they won't. And
Middle
no
America
network,
loves
no
pornography.
network is going to pick it up.
I like
they
the thought of him having like a small business, but I don't know. I don't think hardware store would be what to go with.
Cake store.
How about a used car lot?
Eh.
Just like not even a good used car lot, like one of those real shitty ones that has.
no,
like,
you
8
don't
cars
want
at a
him
time.
to be like seem too like his job's
That's
horrible.
true. That would make him seem seedy.
Okay, how about a
And
mediocre
slimy.
used car lot?
No, he just would seem slimy then.
All car salesmen seem slimy.
All cars salesmen are slimy.
See, we want our main character to be likable. What if he owns a car wash?
No.
What if he?
That's too
owns
Breaking Bad.
A bowling alley.
What if he owns a franchise for like a fake
Fast food franchise?
well no like a Chuck E. Cheese, not necessarily Chuck E. Cheese,
That's
but
just
like
horrifying.
a fake Chuck E.
That's
Cheese kind of,
absolutely horrifying.
you know,
What if he owns a golf course?
Is that really a job?
putt putt.
I don't know about that.
A mini golf course.
You can't make a living off of mini
Yes,
golf
you
course.
Yes, you
can.
can.
Just a mini golf course? No.
No, it's
a mini golf course and go kart.
Yeah, it comes with all that good stuff.
Living
The
in
arcade.
Wisconsin Dells.
I'm liking it already.
I don't think a mini golf.
Who votes for mini golf course / go karts in Wisconsin Dells?
I do.
Okay.
And Wisconsin Dells too? Really? No.
Okay, never mind. That
Who
is-
votes for none of Carlos's ideas that he's come up with?
I'm listening to other people's ideas,
Yeah,
and I'm
it's a round table discussion. It's very important. This is the writing process, guys. We got this. All right. We still need
What
an
if he's just
occupation.
an entrepreneur that hasn't found his calling yet?
What if he's an
or-
inventor?
Yeah, like an entrepreneur inventor. He always thinks of ideas that always go under that never work.
you know,
I like that idea.
the
Then you
only
have to
problem
think of
with
a
that
stupid
is,
idea every
no,
week for him to try.
and there's another
Yeah.
problem. There's another
Well, it
problem
can
with
go
it,
on for months. Like
yeah,
he's trying
that
to
can go
figure
on
out the
for-
right thing. Like
There's another problem with it though, where as like the seasons would go on, it would become more insane, like fake science. Like
No.
he's all of a sudden like this week he ends up with a mind control device because that's what's going to happen.
no,
No,
eventually, like the third season, he'll finally find his calling.
He finds
and
his
something
thing,
will
and then he
happen.
starts a business, and then we have a season of his business failing, and then he's down in his luck for a season.
I think-
There's arcs here. I kind of like the inventor idea, Eric.
I can see that. I can see the inventor idea.
That's not really.
I don't. I
like
can't.
maybe
I'm-
having him have him invent stuff in his off time or like do something like that. So something maybe his
Well-
his actual job should be something mechanical.
maybe
I don't know.
he
There's a lot of because now in Middle America, there's a lot of stay-at-home dads.
Yeah.
and there's a lot of women
That's
that are
it.
working.
He's a stay-at-home dad.
Who's an inventor?
I have never seen a sitcom where the main character was a stay-at-home dad.
I'm
Stu
pretty
Pickles.
sure I have.
Name one.
I can't because I don't watch those.
Nah,
sitcoms.
I don't think there's any.
All right, we're going with Stay-at-Home Dad. I like it. So Stay-at-Home Dad, inventor, and his friend is his best friend is a black sushi chef.
I like it.
I like it too. I would watch this.
And
show
they hang
already.
out in the garage all the time.
Yeah, that's just kind of, and he has an overweight neighbor.
Yep.
And he's got to have one of those very basic American names for a fat guy, like Norm or Fred.
Norm.
No,
Yeah, Norm.
That's not a very basic name.
Yeah, it's like it is Norm, Norman. That's a very basic name.
wait, who are we naming?
The overweight neighbor,
Gregory.
Gregory. Oh,
He does not let himself be called Greg.
He's kind of pretentious and he wears a fedora.
George.
Yeah.
Could be a neckbeard type of guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
no neck.
Well, not
No,
neckbeard,
yeah,
but
but yeah,
he's kind of pretentious.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wears a fedora.
Yeah,
All right. Okay.
Maybe he's always trying to hit on dude's wife.
that doesn't. No,
Like like
What does the wife do?
it's got to be something high price, like
No,
a lawyer.
no.
or-
Here's the problem though that you start running into is why would his wife let him be such a doesn't have a job, doesn't seem to do anything
Because he's
they're-
taking care of the kids.
and they're in love, dude. Come on. Well,
What
college
do you
probably
mean?
doesn't
No, yeah,
believe in
no.
that,
She
so.
if she has a
she
high
has
paying job, they can pay for daycare.
No, but he wants to stay home and she wants to support him. So it has to be some sort of job where
He
she
wants
can do
to
that.
not work. So
Well,
that's what you're saying.
No,
That's his
okay.
motivation.
In the TV show Parenthood,
Being
one of
very
the
sexist.
one of the side, because they're all brothers and sisters, and the one, she is a lawyer who makes a shit ton of money, and they want somebody to stay home with the kid because they want to be close with the family
Yeah,
like that.
Right,
So it's a group decision, but he also wants to work on the side.
right.
So he tinkers in his garage.
Yes.
So he's not working. He just hasn't.
This isn't the. There's actually a problem. This isn't the age of stay-at-home parents anymore.
Yes, it is. What are you talking about? It's huge
This is-
on the rise.
This
Especially,
is
What if
more
he-
and more.
especially if
he
you're
lost
behind.
his job?
This is
No,
What if
no.
he?
That makes a little bit more sense.
Okay, he's
So-
between jobs.
But he's going to be between jobs for 6 or 8 seasons.
What
though?
if-
No. He'll go out to interviews and he can't quite find the right job.
I have the solution. It's not his kids he's looking after. It's his brother's kids. He lost his job, and his brother and his wife. His brother and his wife have kids, but they both are hardworking. So they said, "All right,
He's
you
the
can come
live-in Manny.
up- Yeah, there you go.
Did we just come up with the title for the show?
Manny.
The Live-In Manny.
So that way he can. That way he doesn't have the job, but he starts learning the power of heart and love as he starts trying to raise these kids because the parents are always working.
I think you're trying to go too TGIF right now.
That's
Yeah.
good. You're gonna have episodes like that though.
Yeah.
So
I think it's fine with it's just a guy and his wife, and they have a kid or
Yeah,
two, and
it's
then
less-
he's a stay-at-home
less
dad who's
con-
an inventor
It's
who
less
lost his job.
convoluted that way. It's
Yeah.
just
Okay,
straightforward.
so we're
And
gonna
she's like a lawyer or some business exec or some doctor or something. I don't know.
because we're gonna get the female demographic because they're gonna tune in because they like to see a strong female character.
Well, yeah, and that nowadays there is a lot more women working than men are, and men are fine with staying at home. It's a perfectly fine thing. And
doing things in there. Yeah. Or maybe he could be maybe he could send in freelance articles to blogs or newspapers or something.
Yep.
Side income, so he's not completely unemployed.
Maybe each episode begins with him writing
A blog post?
Yeah, a blog post about what happened.
Kind of
Yes.
like a Doogie
Yeah,
Howser
like a
type
Doogie
situation.
Howser thing.
I like that. All right.
And then it's the events of the day that
Right.
turns into the episode.
Right.
Events
And
of
then,
the day
and
or
then the
week
next
or-
episode would be him writing about last week, what happened last week.
Yeah, and it's kind of a flashback type
right.
deal.
To keep
Ooh.
to keep continuity.
I like it.
I think we
Okay.
need to get a copyright for this show.
Well, all right. So what are we gonna call it?
guy without job.
Bum.
Yeah, there you go.
No. Man, I don't know. Maybe we should come up with that later. What is the plot for our pilot?
Hmm.
All right. So what's the first what's a good initial problem for them to come
The
into?
opening will be a very hectic Monday morning as the wife's getting ready for work and he's trying to mangle the children.
Well, I think
cook
we
breakfast.
need to figure out what the central conflict of this episode is going to be and then build around that.
He can't
How about
make a
him-
pancake
him
for
over-
the life of himself.
Him overcoming the stigma of being a stay-at-home dad.
The kids
because he
want-
just don't
I
think
feel
it's
like
a-
that's more of an
like
overarching.
the overarch instead of like
Yeah.
just a one episode kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I think the kids want pancakes, but he just can't make a pancake.
I don't think we could pull an entire episode out.
No, that's just going on in the
Well, I
background.
mean,
the
the
whole
pilot-
first episode, like, it'll periodically go to him practicing his pancakes.
I think well
In the
that could be
kitchen.
like his invention is trying to figure out the pancake thing because we have to tell what he's doing. We have to get the children off to school, and then it's kind of him alone until the children get home or something, or else there's a baby at home and one of the kids is at school, something like that.
I like there
'Cause we
maybe
gotta
not a
ex-
baby, but because babies ruin shows.
Yeah, well,
But maybe like a
someone
like a
that's
toddler.
not in school yet or not
yeah,
in preschool.
maybe like a toddler, and then a elementary school age kid.
Hmm. But yeah, I think we need to show that he's actually like in his garage during the day and stuff, making something, or like it's his. it starts out on
Maybe
his-
both kids are in school all day, and then
he's starting out
tinkers in
on his
garage
project and like blog or something. It's just like the pilot should be. There should be a conflict that happens, but we have to introduce everything like a normal day
Yeah,
of the week.
yeah. So all right, so maybe his conflict is he's feeling underappreciated. It's basic, it's simple, it lets us introduce all the characters, gives him something to bitch about, which is very important.
And he's working on his next project, and he's like, "They're going to appreciate me now."
Now he sounds
As
like a
he's
serial killer.
He's polishing his AK. They're gonna appreciate me when I'm done with this one.
And at the end of the day, they don't.
No, they do.
You said no. You should subvert it, where they don't appreciate him at all. Then they appreciate him less by the time he reveals his invention.
Why are we subverting it?
Why not?
Because this is supposed to be a traditional
It's a
sitcom
s-
for middle America.
A situational comedy. All right. So yeah, it'll be funnier if it backfires on him.
That's true. And then at the end, they're like, "Ah, but we like you anyway." Like he tries his pancake invention, but it just makes a huge mess.
Surprised them. I mean,
Oh,
who
no,
would've
no.
thought
He tries his
And it-
pancake
it has
invention,
to
but it
be
makes
like-
waffles instead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it
Before
doesn't
the
make
kids-
pancakes, but it
Before
makes
the
a
kids go to
perfect crate.
school, they have to be like, "Oh, we want mommy to make our pancakes. She knows how to make them better." And so that's like the driving force.
No,
There
no,
it is. Okay.
actually,
Can't
I
make
think
pancakes.
no. The wife has no cooking skills. Has even less cooking skills than him.
But she knows how to make pancakes
Yeah, let's go with that.
Underappreciated, can't make pancakes.
the right way.
Or say that one morning he woke up and right, all right, get this, he was too tired to actually make breakfast, so he calls in like a phone order, like order some breakfast, and then everybody thinks he's a wonderful cook, so he has to like try to improve his cooking skills, or everybody's going to know that like his breakfast was a lie.
I feel like that would be a better episode for like, a little bit down the line, and instead of breakfast, a dinner party.
A dinner party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where everything just goes south as he's making it during the day, and he has to end up buying it.
Yeah, and then everyone's
like
like,
Mrs.
"Oh,
Doubtfire
yeah,
when she burns everything and has to order out Chinese or Vietnamese or something.
yeah,
I think that'd be a good.
yeah." So
Okay.
that would be a better later episode. All right, so the primary conflict of this episode is he's underappreciated, and we're showing that with his inability to make pancakes. So that's where his invention is going to come from.
This should be like the opening of the show should be like his first week of being laid off from his job or something, and now he's a stay-at-home father.
And yeah, it's he just started the blog.
Yep.
As kind of like a coping mechanism.
Yep. Or like,
And the show will be his blog title.
according to Jim.
No, that is already taken. The show title is his blog title. I like that idea because it fits in with the whole, like shit my dad says.
Like, it should just be called the monthly blog then.
Or whatever the
No.
guy's name is .com, like Jim.com.
No.
No. Oh, we'll figure that out. We don't need to name the characters yet.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so he's inventing his madness. Or so it opens up with him being like, this week, yada 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 yada, like doing his exposition. Opens up with exposition, and then it flashes back to that fateful morning when with some mild voiceover when the kids are complaining that he can't make the pancakes. And then all the kids go off to school, the wife leaves, and he just stands in the kitchen looking at the pile of dirty dishes and uneaten pancakes.
And then that's
sighs,
when the
and then
theme song
credits.
starts.
Yep. And there has to be a theme song.
Oh yeah, of course. You have to have a theme song. If you don't have a theme song,
And it
you're
should
not
be
doing it
just
right.
like Craig Ferguson's opening on the Tonight Show. It should sound something like that with the happy little down the way up, running a long time.
Yeah.
and he got
No,
the
it needs
Sandman
it
at the
needs to be a
door.
happy like jingle-like theme song.
Oh, it's got to be something
Yeah.
that people will sing
And
20
we'll
years
do
from now.
this.
I was
Hey.
just thinking how hilarious. I suppose I don't know. Hilarious isn't the word for it, but like everybody leaves. His kids have just left for school. All those uneaten pancakes, and he just starts crying, and then the happy music starts playing.
Or he just
He doesn't start crying, but he,
He
looks
just-
dejected.
his
Yeah.
knees give out and he kind of just like sinks down on the wall and just stares at everything. It's like
And then the happy music starts playing.
He looks super dejected, and then we come back from credits or the opening scene, and he's in the sushi restaurant with his friend behind the counter
Yeah, of
making
course.
sushi.
Or I think we should open up with him still on the floor and looking at the watch, and then it flips over to him at the restaurant.
No, he'll like stop, like he's about to cry. Look at this watch. Oh, I gotta go get some lunch.
Yeah. So like So
Well, he isn't actually going there to eat. He's
Well, no,
just going to go
there's
hang out.
there's an unspoken time passage there, so it's a little bit later in the day. He's not there for food, but he's there to talk to his friend who's prepping for the
I
day.
think his friend. Yeah, I think he should own the sushi.
He owns the
restaurant.
sushi restaurant.
Actually, I
and
think
that's
it's-
like the main hangout of the show. Like he has two more
That's-
friends or something. and that's where
that's the bar.
yes.
Actually,
That's
I
where
think
they hang out.
actually maybe the friend should get a new job every
No,
season.
no, I like sushi chef, sushi owner.
Well, but see, we can always change it if ratings aren't doing well, if it's not testing well, Carlos. We can change it.
If your ratings aren't doing well, giving the friend a different job.
No, but it
isn't
depends on
gonna help.
it depends on how it's testing. If the sushi thing tests great, it's fine. That's pretty interchangeable. Where
I think
he's
at the
working.
moment, we have.
we're gonna stick
It's a.
with sushi.
Should
right
it be
now.
a fine dining restaurant too? Like
No, I think
No, it
I
should
think it
just-
needs to be one of those like not maybe not one of
No,
those
it
rotating ones.
should
but-
just be like
like
a
a
small
sushi bar.
place. Yeah, like maybe 5 or 6 tables and the bar. Not
Yeah.
like a huge.
But it needs to be informal enough where everybody can come in with their problems and just kind of like slide into the thing and be like, ah.
Is that I don't think that's the thing people do at sushi places.
if you're friends with the owner.
If you're friends with the owner, and this one is because this is a sushi place that also happens to have hamburgers.
Well, I'm just saying.
I just had
No,
a
I
good-
think it should be an actual sushi place. He shouldn't be having hamburgers.
I just
Yeah,
had
I
a
know,
good
I know.
idea.
It was a
This is just for a little gag. All right, so the best friend sushi guy is a black guy, right? Maybe you can have like one part where they're sitting there at the bar, and then like a couple of people walk in and they look at the sushi chef, and they're like, oh, and then he gets all mad because he thinks like they don't want sushi from him because he's a black guy, and then they're like,
That's
No,
the
you-
theme of the episode.
No,
Nobody appreciates me.
Yeah, no, that's part of the
Yeah,
thing.
There we go.
Right,
Is
right.
nobody appreciates the black sushi
and
chef,
then of course since he's the buffoon, they can be like, well, instead of it being racist, they can be like, dude, you're not wearing pants.
no, see,
Ah.
no,
A little sight gag with
I
him
don't
and
know.
his
I think
whitey-tighties.
if he's gonna be the restaurant owner, I think he should be the sage guy who gives the advice and everything, and then like the portly next door neighbor is now the buffoon. Because
Okay.
you need the sage like Wilson character that he goes to for advice,
right.
right?
Yeah, his sushi restaurant's doing well, and everybody goes there.
Yeah. Everyone. That's just kind of the hangout, and-
Right.
And it covers a lot of bases because you need that hangout spot that's not the home.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. I like that. So sushi restaurant hangout. Okay. So that sets up the how his friend is doing with the things, and maybe we'll have his I guess his neighbor come in. Well, we won't know it's his neighbor. It's his other friend, and then we'll find out later that they live next door to each other. He'll come in and do something crazy, and
Yeah, something stupid.
yeah,
And
and
he's-
laugh track, and
Of
He's on
course
his
not.
break from work or something right now. Like he's in
Yeah.
his suit or something. I don't know. Something.
and his fedora.
I think he should be like a garbage man or something.
No.
No, he's mid-level white
A
collar.
mid-level executive.
Yeah,
The guy
he's
with
like
the-
data entry or
Oh, yeah,
something.
he's
The guy with the hat?
Yeah.
No, I think. Oh, I don't know. Maybe. I think he should like dress nicely,
Yeah.
like in like a not like a suit, but like some nice clothes.
Like
and-
the IT crowd, they have a tie and fucking white shirt on.
Yeah.
and khakis or
Yeah.
something.
He definitely dresses nice.
Not data entry. He should have a decent job, I think.
Okay, so maybe he's like a programmer or something. Like I feel like something in IT would be good.
Well,
for
yeah,
this
with
guy.
the nowadays, yeah, it has to have something with
Okay.
technology.
All right. So that's so we have the A plot where the main character is feeling underappreciated. We have the B plot where the sushi restaurant guy is feeling underappreciated, and so now we have the two that we've
Why
set up
is
the
he?
episode.
Why is he feeling unappreciated? Because
Oh, no.
if it's a successful going restaurant.
Okay, you're right. We
So-
can't do that. Maybe there's just a rude customer in there or something.
I think even though the neighbor's a buffoon, like the ongoing thing should be that he has a lot more nicer things, and a lot of things are like happening for the neighbor guy.
Okay.
But he's still the buffoon, and like that's the ongoing conflict at home as well. Is
I thought the buffoon was his friend though at the sushi place.
No, we
No,
changed
we
that.
changed that.
The friend is
I-
the sage.
Well, I think that the
What?
neighbor though with the hat,
Should be the
hat
sage.
neighbor. No, well, I think like he should kind of be like he has like some jerk. Like he doesn't have to be like best friends with this guy.
He has
He's kind of a jerk,
jerk qualities, but he's
but at the same time, he does make
Right.
every time he's a jerk, he makes a good point.
right. Because
Which is what convinces the guy every time.
I do think it would be funnier too to have a buffoon sushi chef.
Okay.
I
all
think
right.
that's fun.
So the sushi chef is the buffoon. Okay. So the neighbor then.
But not in
Is-
not his work environment though. He's good at his work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's great
no,
at his
he's
job.
good at, it's just some of the things he does is buffoon like, and some of the things he says, and we'll have some sight gags or something. It'll work. So the neighbor then is he's the unintentional sage.
Yeah.
Who thinks that the main character is his best friend, but the main character doesn't really care for him.
No, I think it should be the other way around. Well, not the main character does not think he's his best friend. The hat guy.
The hat guy thinks he's the main character's best friend.
No, the hat guy thinks that he's the main character of the show. Not actual.
No, but
not literally. But like he thinks that he's
the world revolves around him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he comes in and just unloads his problems.
So the sushi chef and him are really good friends, though. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, yep.
Yes.
Those two are
but
friends.
the neighbors are never really good friends. They're just
they're
friends.
just they're acquaintances.
Yes.
We'll have episodes where their friendship grows a little bit, but then we'll forget about it the next week.
Yeah.
That's
how it works.
They did that many times in Married with Children.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So we have those characters. So we'll do some minor plot development. It'll happen. How are we going to resolve these?
His pancake fails, but the family loves him.
Yeah. So all right. So he
Maybe he invents a new style of pancake, and it's great.
It's called a waffle.
he makes like wasabi pancakes or something.
No, you just solve it where he just had like at some point in time the hat never makes a stupid mark. Well, if you can't do pancakes, just make waffles. Then they're like, that's a great idea. I'm just
And,
gonna
like,
make waffles.
It turns out to be a waffle, and everybody loves it. And he brings just a little side note as they're doing dishes. Maybe I should make a Waffle House or something like that. And then the wife's like, "Oh, honey, nah, we don't."
Oh.
I had the Mixler thing stop because it stops at an hour and I missed the hour mark. I usually try to catch it before. Sorry, guys.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Doing dishes, and he's like, "Well, maybe I should do a Waffle House thing." Oh, honey, nah. And then that's
Oh, that would never.
and then it
happen.
goes to like putting the kids to bed and everything, and then goes to them in bed and like a good night, honey, good night, and the end of the show.
I like
kind
it.
of thing.
And then the theme music plays. Are we gonna do some sort of like? I feel like the show should have some sort of stinger, like you know how there's the resolution of all the things, and then there's like the title card, and then you have a stinger at the end where it's just like a quick one-off joke. I feel like this show should have that.
Yeah, like everybody loves Raymond did that all the time. Like
Yeah.
go to bed together and then does some joke. And
Maybe should it be some kind of something like a bit more like slapsticky? Like
it should be
while
it
he's
should be
tinkering?
some thread that wasn't quite wrapped up completely during the episode, either involving the main character or one of the side
Yeah,
characters in the episode.
Anybody in the episode, really?
Yeah, just a quick one-off thing where there was just one thread left. Like maybe he forgets to turn off his waffle machine or his waffle invention or his pancake invention, and he like sits up and he's like, "Oh no!" And then it cuts to just a bunch of
Like
pancakes
10,000
everywhere.
pancakes in the kitchen. I like that. I was
Smell
thinking of the
something
same
burning.
I was thinking of like the same thing. Like
Yeah.
it could be like, with his invention, like each week or something, like what's going wrong with it, or something blowing up in his face or something like that. Just like a quick
Yeah.
slapsticky.
I feel like all we need to do is title this, write up the script, and send it to Fox, and we've just made like $5,000.
Yeah, and then it'll get canceled after the first season, just like everything
Yeah.
else.
Well, maybe not Fox. Maybe we should send it to NBC. I think they're hurting for programming right now.
Well, yeah, quite a few good things.
Shit, we should send it to Netflix. They've been doing great recently.
Yeah,
We want to make
Right.
money.
Right? No, I don't think this would do well on Netflix.
I don't know.
This is good, flipping
Wholesome
through channel.
TV, fun.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I think the black guy's name should be Theodore.
Theo.
Yeah, and we
What are you
call
doing
him
with Theo?
A black guy
when
can't
he's
make
washing
sushi.
dishes with his wife, it's not. Maybe I should open. Do you think Theo would let me sell my waffles at the restaurant?
Is his dad's name Bill Huxtable?
No.
That's
It
right.
should be.
Cosby joke.
Yeah, it could be, and that's the ongoing. We just link all these shows
Like he-
together. They're all inside jokes until anybody gets them. I think we got a hit.
I think so
I think
too.
so.
That's right. We're going to wrap up here. As soon as I can find my notes again. There we go. All right. Again, you guys can listen live every Saturday at blindnewsstudios.com/live or at youtube.com/blindnewsstudios. Questions, comments, show ideas, go to feedback@blindnewsstudios.com or find us on the Facebook page. We're gearing up for our second year anniversary show next weekend, November 1st at 2 p.m. Central. And we need your help. Send your favorite show moments to the ninja at blindnewsstudios.com. And Homebrew Bound is live every Monday at 8 p.m. CST. Support any of our programming. Head on over to patreon.com/blindnewsstudios. Watch the video. It'll explain everything. And donate. Even $1 a month helps so much.
Video now?
There's been a video for a while.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to record another one because I'm not super happy with the other one, but that's a whole other thing. Or if you're going to do any Amazon shopping, head over to blindnewsstudios.com first. Click on the Amazon link at the bottom of the page. Do your regular shopping, and we get a little bit of a kickback when you check out there. So it's fantastic. If you have any feedback on the show or any of the shows, go ahead and send us an email at feedback@blindnewsstudios.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/blindnewsstudios or follow us on Twitter at blind_ninja. And I'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Bye.